Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. We made this video to explain about gerund and infinitive active and passive tenses. So, before you enjoy this video, let me introduce this member group. I am Nur Hayati and my group is Risma, Rega Wulandari, Tata, and Intan Cahaya. Alright, for the first, we must know the definition gerund and infinitive. The definition of the gerund itself is a verb that functions as a noun. The gerund is almost the same as the form in the present participle of verb in, but in the fact, the gerund is a noun. While the present participle is an adjective, if the gerund is used as a subject, then the gerund can stand alone or take the form of a gerund phrase. Well, the meaning of the infinitive is a basic verb that has not changed. It is formed either due to change in time, tenses, or adding endings, is or is. Gerund and infinitive are forms of verbs that act like nouns. They can follow adjective and other verbs. Gerund can also follow preposition. For example, I really enjoy swimming at the beach. And infinitive is to plus the verb. For example, to work so hard for so long must be really exhausting.
Okay, next I'm Tata. My student ID number is 2103050014. Okay. Here I will explain some about the gerund and along with examples. How to form a gerund when verb plus ing meets, then it is a gerund, such as singing, swimming, playing, and so on. And if you want to write a gerund sentence with a negative sentence, you all have to do is add not plus verb in, like not playing, not swimming, and etc. Okay, here you can see gerund as a part of sentence. First, all gerund can be the subject of a sentence. You can see in this subject, singing is my passion. Where is the gerund? Gerund in singing. Where is sing is a verb and placing. So this is can be seen is my passion. And then second, a gerund can be an object, and I like singing with my friends. Gerund can be an object in singing with my friends. And last, a gerund can be used as an object of proposition. Example, we have to finish our tasks before leaving. This is example, a gerund can be used as an object of proposition. So there is any three types for gerund as a part of a sentence. Okay, next, here example about gerunds. In bahasa Indonesia, one, membaca buku adalah hobi saya. In NP1, for positive sentence, reading books is my hobby. So the gerund in bahasa is membaca, and in English reading. Read verb, and in the gerund. And how about negative sentence? In negative sentence, you can add the note for sentence like not reading books is my hobby. Here you can add the note before the verb phrasing. Example second, you can see in bahasa Indonesia, saya suka berenang di danau. In NP1, for positive sentence, I like swimming at the lake. But if you want to use a negative sentence, you can make I don't like swimming at the lake. If you want to use a negative sentence, you can make a sentence I like not swimming at the lake, like example before that. Here you can see some verbs that take only gerunds like admit, advise, allow, and etc. This is the verb that take only gerunds. And then next verb followed by a preposition and a gerund like admit to, be a cause of, blame for, confess to, and etc. This is some verb followed by preposition and a gerund. Okay, that's all for me about the gerund. And next materials, I back to moderator, and thank you.
Hello, my name is Intan Saya Putri, and I will explain about infinitive. Infinitive as a pronoun has a two parts, as an object and a subject. An infinitive is a verb that functions as a noun, adjective, or adverb. The function of infinitive verb is to express as an opinion, the purpose of an object and action, and to answer who, what, or why question. The basic formula of an infinitive usually starts with the word to and is followed by the base form of a verb. Now, infinitive verbs are not conjugated like other verb forms, so they will remain infinitive in the sentence. Infinitive verb as noun. Infinitive is as a noun where the following certain verb. The function of infinitive verb can be as a direct object or an indirect object. The infinitive as an object is usually located at the beginning of the sentence. So, for example, in bahasa, mengemudi dengan cepat di jalan ini sangat berbahaya. So, we can make about a sentence in English: to drive very fast is dangerous, and negative sentence: to drive fast is not dangerous. Infinitive as an object is usually located after the verb in the sentence. So, we can make about sentence. Positive sentence is I really need to eat something, and the negative sentence I really not to eat. So here's about verb followed by the infinitive. As you can see, you can know about the verbs very different. Okay. Now you can see about verb followed by an object and subject in infinitive. You can see advice, choice, have, love, demand, etc. So that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Next, we must know
what active voices and passive voices. Alright.
Active voice and passive voice. Active voice and passive voice. Active voice is a sentence where the subject is active in doing something, while the passive sentence is the sentence the subject is subject to something done. Basically, the two sentences are contradictory in their usage. However, both of them have a relationship, where active sentence can be changed to passive sentences and vice versa. Passive sentences can also be changed into passive sentence. Both active sentences and passive sentences are connected to each other.
Alright, active voices will be explained by me. For the first, simple present tense. For example, active voices sentence in bahasa is Rega mencuci sepedanya di rumahnya sendirian setiap Sabtu. Rega is MP1, mencuci verb sepedanya NP2, di rumahnya adverb of place number 2, sendirian adverb of manner number 1, setiap Sabtu adverb of time number 3. The active voices in English is Rega washes her bicycle alone at home every Saturday. The negative sentence is Rega doesn't wash her bicycle alone at home every Saturday. Interrogative sentence is does Rega wash her bicycle alone at home every Saturday. The second is simple continuous tense. For example, active voices. The sentence is in bahasa is Rega sedang memanjat pohon kelapa di belakang rumahnya. Rega is MP1, sedang copula memanjat verb pohon kelapa NP2 di belakang rumahnya adverb of place number 2. The active voices in English is Rega is climbing a coconut tree behind her house. The negative sentence is Rega isn't climb a coconut tree behind her house. The interrogative sentence is Rega climb a coconut tree behind her house. The next is simple past tense. For example, active voices. The sentence in bahasa is Rega membuat tugas grammar semalam. Rega MP1 membuat is verb, tugas grammar MP2 semalam adverb of time number 3. The active voices in English is Rega was making grammar assignment last night. The negative sentence is Rega wasn't make grammar assignment last night. The interrogative sentence was Rega make grammar assignment last night. Alright, and then simple present perfect tense. For example, active voices. The sentence in bahasa is Rega telah menjatuhkan gelas di dapur barusan. Rega is MP1, telah auxiliary menjatuhkan verb gelas MP2 di dapur adverb of place number 2, barusan adverb of time number 3. The sentence active voices Rega has just dropped a glass in a kitchen. The negative sentence Rega hasn't just dropped a glass in a kitchen. The interrogative sentence is has Rega just dropped a glass in a kitchen? The last is modals. For example, active voices. The sentence in bahasa is Rega akan membeli sebuah mobil tahun depan. Rega is MP1 akan membeli modal plus verb sebuah mobil NP2 tahun depan adverb of time number 3. The sentence active voices is Rega will buy a car next year. The negative sentence is Rega will not buy a car next year. The interrogative sentence is will Rega buy a car next year?
Alright, I am Risma and I want to explain is about passive voices. Okay, passive sentences are sentences where the subject gets treatment, action, or gives or takes verb in their activities or action. In other words, passive sentences show that the subject is the party that is the goal of an action that is being or has been done. In the passive sentence structure, the subject becomes the part subject to an action or activity. The subject in the passive sentence does not have the position of the actor, but the role of the actor is held by the object. Nah, jadi kalimat pasif ini merupakan kalimat yang subjeknya itu mendapatkan perlakuan, tindakan, atau pemberian kata kerja tertentu dalam aktivitas atau tindakan. Nah, dengan kata lain, kalimat pasif menunjukkan bahwa subjek merupakan bagian yang menjadi tujuan dari adanya suatu tindakan yang sedang atau telah dilakukan. Dalam struktur kalimat pasif, maka subjek menjadi bagian yang dikenakan suatu tindakan atau aktivitas. Subjek dalam kalimat pasif tidak berposisi sebagai pelaku, melainkan peran pelaku dipegang oleh objek. Nah, jadi kalimat active voices or passive voices itu terhubung. Nah, jadi kalimat aktif dan kalimat pasif ini bertolak belakang. Kalimat aktif bisa diubah menjadi kalimat pasif. Jadi bisa dikatakan kalimat aktif dan kalimat pasif ini terhubung. Oke, kita lanjut dengan simple present tense. Nah, kita lanjut ke kalimat, yaitu kalimat simple present tense. Nah, simple present tense, this type of tense is used to describe activities that are carried out repeatedly or habitually. How to change it by adding to be, is, are before the verb that has been changed to the past participle. Nah, jadi simple present tense ini, jenis tenses ini digunakan untuk menjelaskan kegiatan yang dilakukan secara berulang-ulang atau kebiasaan. Nah, jadi cara mengubahnya dengan menambahkan to be, is, are, nah sebelum verb yang sudah diubah menjadi past participle. Oke, kita lanjutkan yaitu ke kalimat simple present tense. Nah, jadi di kalimat simple present tense ini saya buat dulu kalimat aktifnya. Nah, jadi di kalimat aktifnya itu ada Risma mencuci motornya sendiri di rumahnya setiap minggu. Nah, jadi ini kan kalimat yang dilakukan secara berulang-ulang. Nah, di sini ada Risma itu sebagai subjek, NP1 atau noun plus 1, mencuci verb, motornya noun plus 2, sendiri adverb of manner, di rumahnya adverb of place, setiap minggu adverb of time. Nah, kalau di kalimat pasif, objeknya diletak di depan. Nah, jadi kalimatnya itu kalau di aktif tadi kan Risma mencuci motornya sendiri di rumahnya setiap minggu. Nah, kalau kita ubah menjadi kalimat pasif, yaitu motor Risma dicuci oleh Risma sendiri di rumah setiap minggu. Kalau kalimat positif yang kita jadikan sentence in English, yaitu Risma's motorbike is washed her bike alone at home every Sunday. Nah, kalau kalimat negatifnya itu bagaimana? Nah, kalau kalimat negatifnya itu bertolak belakang dengan negatif dengan kalimat positif, atau kebalikan dari kalimat positif, yaitu Risma's motorbike isn't washed. her by alone at home every Sunday. Kalau kalimat interrogatif yaitu is Risma's motorbike was her by alone at home every Sunday. Nah, jadi itu ya kalimat simple present tense. Oke, kita lanjut ke simple continuous tense. Nah, simple continuous tense to express activities that are currently being discussed or will be carried out in the near future. How to form the passive voice by adding to be is, are, and the verb being after it. Nah, jadi simple continuous tense ini digunakan untuk menyatakan kegiatan yang sedang terjadi saat dibicarakan. Nah, jadi cara membentuk kalimat pasifnya itu dengan menambahkan to be, is, are, serta kata being setelahnya. Nah, baik, kita ke contoh kalimatnya. Jadi ini di kalimat aktifnya itu yaitu Risma sedang memanjat pohon kelapa di belakang rumahnya. Kalau dipasifkan, kalau kita ganti kalimat pasif yaitu pohon kelapa sedang dipanjat oleh Risma di belakang rumahnya. Jadi gitu ya, objeknya ini kita ganti menjadi subjeknya gitu. Kita diletak di awal. Nah, di sini itu ada di kalimat aktifnya ini ada Risma itu sebagai subjek noun first one, sedang untuk copula, memanjat itu verb, pohon kelapa noun first two, di belakang rumahnya adverb of place. Nah, kalau kita buat di sentence in English yaitu pada kalimat pasifnya ini kita buat dalam kalimat in English yaitu a coconut tree is being climbed by Risma behind Risma's house. Nah, jadi setelah to be ini kita letak verb being. Kalau kalimat negatifnya itu sebaliknya dari kalimat positif yaitu a coconut tree isn't being climbed behind Risma's house. Kalau kalimat interrogatif is a coconut tree being climbed behind Risma's house. Nah, jadi ini ya kalimat simple continuous tense. Oke, kita lanjut ke simple past tense. Simple past tense, this type of tense used to express an activity that happened before it was discussed. How to form passive sentences by adding past to be was or were. Where? Sorry, was or were. Was or were. Nah, jadi simple past tense ini, jenis ini dipakai untuk menyatakan kegiatan yang terjadi saat sebelum dibicarakan. Nah, jadi masa lampau ya. Past tense ini ada kalimat masa lampau. Nah, cara untuk membentuk kalimat pasifnya dengan menambahkan to be lampau was atau were. Oke, kita kembali ke contoh kalimat simple past tense yaitu Risma membuat kue bolu di rumahnya semalam. Di sini kita lihat Risma itu sebagai subjek NP1, membuat itu verb, kue bolu itu NP2, di rumahnya adverb of place, semalam itu adverb of time. Kalau kita ubah ke kalimat pasif yaitu menjadi kue bolu dibuat oleh Risma di rumahnya semalam. Nah, kita buat sentence-nya ke dalam bahasa Inggris, yaitu sponge cake was made by Risma at her house last night. Nah, kalau negatif itu menjadi sponge cake was made by Risma at her house last night. Kalau interrogatif, was sponge cake made by Risma at her house last night? Nah, jadi itu ya kalimat past tense, yaitu masa lampau. Oke, kita lanjut ke kalimat simple present perfect tense. Nah, simple present perfect tense ini untuk express an activity that has been completed. How to form the passive voice by adding been after have or has. Nah, jadi simple present tense ini dipakai untuk menyatakan kegiatan yang sudah selesai dikerjakan. Nah, cara membentuk kalimat pasifnya dengan menambahkan been setelah have atau has. Nah, kita kembali ke contoh simple present perfect tense. Di sini ada kalimat aktifnya, yaitu Risma telah menjatuhkan piring di dapur barusan. Dimana kita lihat ini Risma sebagai subjek, yaitu noun plus one, telah itu auxiliary, menjatuhkan itu verb, piring itu NP1, NP2 atau noun plus two, di dapur adverb of place, barusan adverb of time. Kalau kita ganti ke kalimat pasif, objeknya kita ganti subjek kita ganti dengan objek. Atau NP1 kita ganti dengan NP2. Jadi letak NP2 itu di NP1. Nah, piring telah dijatuhkan oleh Risma di dapur barusan. Kan? Nah, jadi kalau di kalimat positifnya itu kita jadikan sentence in English, the plate has just been dropped in a kitchen. Kalau kalimat negatif itu kebalikan dari positif, the plate hasn't just been dropped in the kitchen. Kalau interrogatif, has the plate just been dropped in the kitchen? Nah, jadi gitu ya, itu kalimat simple present perfect tense. Kita lanjut lagi ke modal tense, materi kita yang terakhir. Itu modals, one more form of auxiliary verb or auxiliary verb. Nah, usually modals are used to express one's attitude towards something. Nah, jadi modals itu salah satu bentuk auxiliary atau kata kerja bantu. Nah, biasanya modals digunakan untuk mengungkapkan sikap seseorang akan suatu hal. Nah, kita ke contoh kalimatnya, yaitu ada kalimat aktif, Risma akan membeli sebuah rumah bulan depan. Amin. Nah, di sini mana kita lihat Risma sebagai subjek, yaitu noun plus one, akan membeli itu modals, sebuah rumah itu noun plus two, bulan depan adverb of time. Nah, jadi kalau kita jadikan ke kalimat pasif, yaitu sebuah rumah akan dibeli oleh Risma bulan depan. Nah, gimana kita gantian? Noun plus two kita gantikan dengan noun plus one kita gantikan letaknya ke noun plus two. Jadinya kalimatnya sebuah rumah akan dibeli oleh Risma bulan depan. Nah, kalau kita jadikan kalimat pasif ini ke dalam sentence in English, yaitu menjadi a house will be bought by Risma next year. Nah, sebuah rumah akan dibeli oleh Risma bulan depan. Kalau kalimat negatifnya itu kebalikan dari kalimat positif, a house will not be bought by Risma next year. Kalimat interrogatif, will a house be bought by Risma next year? Apakah rumah Apakah sebuah rumah akan dibeli oleh Risma tahun depan? Okay, that's it from my explain. I will return to moderator. Thank you.
Alright, I think that's all from our group. Thank you for your attention, and I apologize if we make a mistake and our explanation is wrong. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and see you again.